Due to the complexity in the volume and diversity of automotive networks, the task of assuring cybersecurity is proving challenging. Traditionally, assuring black box scenarios has been performed with expert insight and empirical exploration of potential cybersecurity faults via penetration testing, which involves an expert purposefully compromising the system to expose vulnerabilities. However, this approach introduces barriers in the form of skill and time required, and in the automotive domain particularly, the issue of balancing cost with coverage becomes crucial given the expensive and constantly evolving nature of modern vehicles. This poses a substantial challenge. How do you assure customers of the cybersecurity of a vehicle, all the while mitigating for challenges just enumerated? Practices such as hardware-in-the-loop and more generally X-in-the-loop testing point towards increasing interest in simulation of vehicle testing as a whole, but how can this be extended to cybersecurity testing? The focus thus far seems to be on the system as the basis for simulation, when a system-centric model cannot inform us of the attacker's behavior in a way that a pen tester does, which limits the scope of these tests as it assumes a white box knowledge of the underlying system, which neither we nor the attacker possesses. So we must look towards penetration testing for inspiration on how to systematize and automate a black box attacker-focused cybersecurity testing method. First, the question that I am trying to tackle is how to incorporate the expert intuition and experience-based insight of pen testers into an automated cybersecurity testing methodology. Specifically, I am exploring how generative machine learning models for graphs can be applied to the generation of attack trees, a formalism explicitly expressing an attacker's view of cybersecurity faults. It might be remarked that graphs, and particularly attack trees, are explicit representations of relationships between real entities, and thus the generation of novel graphs seems like a waste of time. After all, what use is an attack tree generated to simply resemble real attack trees? How can we expect these generated attack trees to be parallel to human expertise when an algorithm cannot hope to have the information to draw real practical connections between various parts of the system in a way that a human expert can? The key lies in the fact that, since there is a potentially limitless amount of possible attacks, the task of enumerating them all is infeasible. Instead, we must focus our attention on vulnerabilities likely exploitable by real attackers so that we can strengthen the most vulnerable areas of a system. To that end, a generated attack tree is not meant to give us a successful real-life attack, but to give us a potentially feasible attack, an attack that could exist, so that we can ensure that our system really is protected against this type of attack. This is a way of reducing the search space from every single possible sequence of actions into a set of actions observed to occur in real attacks without having to rely on human expertise at every stage.